thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget, this time in a different way. Yet again, we're bringing a taste of Great Britain home on a budget, and this time I mean it literally, as we continue our week of Electric Elegance, getting fancy with a buzz. Bringing you an item that's definitely more within my wheelhouse, the Great British Baking Show. Not that I've particularly seen the show. I mean, they call it the Great British Bake Off across the pond, but since Pillsbury owns the rights to that trademark here in the States, PBS had to identify it as the Great British Baking Show. No matter what you call it, you might be pleasantly surprised, as I am, that it has its own game. Really? On your mark, get set, bake! This Ravensburger creation is for 2 to 4 players ages 10 and up, with bake illustrations by Tom Hovey. This was purchased from Red, White, and Blue Thrift Store in Patterson for 25% off, $2.99. It does take some trial and error to get the instructions under your belt, but in no time, you should be able to rise to the occasion, like this cake. Anyway, the objective of the game is to score the most points and claim the title of Star Baker. In this game, players race to recreate the bake show on the recipe with their bake cards. When finished, they grab a timer score token and face the judges. Will they win a coveted Hollywood handshake? That would be Paul Hollywood, or be stuck with a soggy bottom. Components: 18 recipes, 236 bake cards, 8 wild bake cards, 4 baker workbenches, 4 bin tokens, 12 timer score tokens, 36 recipe score tokens, and a recipe stand. And of course, the ever-important instruction pamphlet, which you will get 10 seconds to look at right now, as soon as I figure out a way to adjust this so you can see it better. Now you can start the clock. There you go. 10 seconds. You'll get to know the bake deck in a moment, but for right now, let's show you the contents. This is your stand, and these are your work areas. Well, these 4 anyway, for the maximum amount of 4 players. 1, 2, 3, we're missing none. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your recipes, and they're divided into 3 categories: signature, technical, and showstopper. Just like on the show, you'll be making pastries, breads, cakes, desserts. You'll also be making biscuits and international desserts, which somehow are lost in the fray. And these are your bake cards. These cards will make or break you. This is where we stack the break deck, folks. Savory fillings, sweet fillings, different grains you'll be needing, style cards, and the style cards determine whether or not you get the coveted Paul Hollywood handshake. So I guess that would be a good time to get to know the bake deck. The bake deck consists of these material cards, mixture cards, such as regular, good crumb, soggy, and raising agent, and rye cards. As for the fillings, there are 4 types: savory, fruit, spice, and sweet. We have here icing and style cards, and a help card, which can be exchanged for a wild bake card from the center of the play area. So, just to show you, spice, sweet, a rye card, a savory filling, a style card, a fruit filling, and plenty of good crumb and raisin agent mixture cards in here. As for the recipes themselves, well, the recipes, quote-unquote, are listed on the back. The categories and the challenge. This is a basic summary of gameplay, as basic as I can best describe it. You follow the setup instructions accordingly, and then one player reads the recipe out loud, and then everyone says, on your mark, get set, bake! At the same time, all players rush to complete their bakes in the fastest time, and the most accurately. If at any point you need to discard a card that you draw from the bake deck, you use the bin token. And those tokens, along with the scoring tokens and timer tokens, are in this Ziploc bag. You can only use the bin token once. If you're the first to complete your assignment, then you take the highest timer score token. And then the last player to complete their assignment takes the lowest timer score token. And then, when it comes time to judge, you will be judged based upon how fast you completed the assignment and how accurately you did. If you met little to none of the criteria, you get a soggy bottom. And a soggy bottom is worth 2 points. If you met some but not all the criteria, you get a Great Bake token, which is worth 5 points. If you met all the criteria, which includes style, then you get the coveted Hollywood Handshake token. That's 7 points. After you complete 3 rounds, signature, technical, and showstopper, all players tally up their points, and whoever has the most points wins. And by the way, if you see this ×3 sign right here for some of the recipes, you have to make 3 of these recipes in here. When you line up your bake cards, you gotta make sure that you start from the bottom and that whatever bake card you draw next connects to that bake card as accurately as you can do it. So it's almost like a blind matching game. That's the best way that I can describe gameplay to you. It's for players 10 and up, so it does take some trial and error. But once you get the hang of it, you might be on your way to earning that coveted Hollywood Handshake. As for me, that would be awesome, but what would it really be like to get a berry bump? You know, a fist bump to Mary Berry for a really good job? Has anyone ever done that on the Great British Baking Show? I don't know. I do know that it's definitely more classier than the stateside reality cooking competition shows we have here. Race to create your perfect bake in this 20-minute game. Who will rise to the challenge and claim Star Baker? Make your bake, score your creation, and prove yourself. There you go. Licensed by Love Productions, the creators of the Great British Baking Show. It gets 4 out of 5 claps. If this had any real recipes in here, I would definitely give it 4.5. But then again, I own the Great British Baking Show cookbook. One of several, really. So, you have that to look forward to on here. That's that! The Great British Baking Show game. On your marks, get set, thrift! Then bake. Just don't do it fully baked. It's neither safe nor classy. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the thrift side.